Hi, this is Dr. Odell from Back to Health. Today we're going to talk lasers. These are an integral part of our practice. I'm going to go through each laser today. I'm going to geek out a little bit on you, but I'm going to talk about how this all evolved in laser therapy. Probably maybe 15 years ago, I started with this laser. It's an Erchonia laser. It's a PL Touch. It's one of the original lasers. I did postgraduate work with Lance Armstrong's chiropractor, Dr. Spencer. And I learned his protocols for athletic performance. He used these on Lance and the team during the tours, and they were actually so effective that they wanted to ban them. This one has two heads. You can kind of see the lights going here. This is a red laser. In Dr. Spencer's protocols, he did neuromuscular upregulation. So in a nutshell, we would go through, we would test the cyclists, we'd see if they had any muscles that weren't firing, super well. And what you can do is basically cause an action potential in that muscle or flex that muscle, hit that muscle and the nerve root, and then sometimes different parts of the brain, and we could immediately turn the muscles on. Also, as far as sports performance goes, super helpful with recovery. Tons of studies that show performance if you do it before a big event. So that was the original laser. I've had that for years. This one is called the EVRL, and it's got the red, and it also has a blue here. Can we see the blue? So this one came out, it was probably next in the evolution of lasers. The one thing that's really beneficial about this handheld laser was the blue. When COVID came about, we were all struggling, looking for solutions for patients. And I'll talk specifically about what the lasers do here in a moment, but they do work with the inflammatory pathways, both the eicosanoid pathway and like the COX pathways. So they outperform NSAIDs, opioids, COX-2 inhibitors. But the reason I got this one was it also super helpful with cytokine storm, which was a big deal originally with the original onset of the COVID. And the violet laser that's with this is antimicrobial, antiviral, antifungal. Super effective at knocking out infections. So the nice thing about these lasers is they do penetrate into the body. They work through what's called photobiomodulation, so they're called cold lasers. It causes a chemical reaction within the body, works at the level of the mitochondria. It knocks up a nitrogen species, which produces nitric oxide in the extracellular matrix, which is a vasodilator, so that's really helpful. So you're getting vasodilation at the same time that you're getting a decrease in inflammation, and that's very unusual with modalities. The next laser, this is the newest, and this one came about. I have a colleague and a mentor who actually did the clinical trials on this. And the clinical trials, we'll talk about those. This one specifically was done on chronic neck and shoulder pain with one use. So immediate use, there's a 50% reduction in pain. Within 48 hours, there's a 74% reduction in pain, and as well as range of motion. But my colleague reached out to me and he said, Mike, when this comes out, you have to get this because I know you work with a lot of long COVID and patients that are having problems with the shot. And the reason that this is profound, number one, is the highest energy laser on the market, just this little handheld with the green and the violet. But when we're looking at the mitochondria, there's pathways in the mitochondria, or 4 complexes. The red and the violet will do 3. The green is brand new. So now when we're using this, I'm actually combining these together for mitochondrial health support for those patients that we were just talking about. So these two together, there's no rate limiting reaction to them anymore with the mitochondria. So that's been profoundly helpful. Plus, because it is such high energy with the green, it works a little bit faster for pain control. So we use this a lot with acute stuff. Over here's our big daddy. This is called the FX405. Let's turn this on. So the lasers tend to work better when they're moving or you're moving. So when we use the handhelds, we kind of do this most of the time. This one, you can kind of see it, they rotate around and they move, and it has 6 heads, 4 heads. Anyway, a lot of photons getting into the system, covers a lot of area. So this one was originally they're all cleared, FDA cleared for pain and inflammation in the whole body. They're super safe. There's no safety issues whatsoever with these. We can use them on the brain. We can use them on any part of the body. But Erchonia holds, I think, 20 of the 23 FDA market clearances on lasers in the market. So they do specific trials for specific conditions for their clearance. And this one, a lot of the studies originally were low back, so it's profoundly helpful. And I have all these studies. If anybody out there wants them, just reach out to me. I'll get you the studies. Low back for this one, huge. So it's FDA market cleared for low back. Plantar fasciitis, that's a big one that we use it on a lot. And it just gets a ton of photons in there. Market clearance, this one, neck and shoulder pain, like I said, 50% immediate reduction in pain. The interesting thing with this and the long-term studies is a year later there was even more benefit. So they have a cumulative effect to them. Most of the time when we're treating something like plantar fasciitis or low back pain, it's about 8 times. Again, we use this for acute pain. Use this for neuromuscular upregulation. We use these together for mitochondrial health. We also use it for things like stimulating the vagus nerve when we're trying to balance the autonomics. Crazy how much we use these. We use them a lot on the brain. So in my little flyer for what this does for the brain, that's what this does for the brain on this side. But amazing for the brain because it decreases inflammation. It helps with amyloid plaquing, tau proteins and neurofibrillations, which are causes of the amyloid plaquing. It produces brain-derived neurotrophic factor. So basically when we're doing work on the brain, functional neurology, we're having patients do certain exercises, but we're juicing up their brain first with this. It also will produce new brain cells, which is amazing. So it actually together too with this, and we use it on the gut with the brain gut connection there. It's really helpful for gut health. What else do we use it on? They're used all day long here. They're amazing. I don't know how I practice without them, but we are now stacked with the best of the best. So anyway, if you want any more information on our lasers, also if you'd like to come in and just try one out, I'd like to offer that for patients that haven't experienced it yet, and we can sit down and talk and see what's best for you.